What's good? What's good? I'm back. Triple P, Paul Pickett podcast, hosted by yours truly, Paul Pickett, the one and only. While I'm sipping my V8 juice, hit that click now, subscribe button in that right hand corner. If you're following on Instagram, Facebook, hit that follow. Don't forget the audio version goes to Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, TuneIn, Slacker, iHeartRadio. You can Google Paul Pickett Podcast. It's PaulPickett podcast. Um, yeah, like normally this is a NFL and NBA sports podcast, but I decided that I needed to ramp up my content, and the fact that NBA is fizzling out now that the game six is over in NBA Finals. We're gonna include um, politics and music into this podcast. So we're going from a sports podcast to a sports, music, and politics. So that way I have as many topics as I can come up with. I don't run out of topics and whatnot. But let's get started. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, the rest of the squad. They showed and proved that you can win in a small market, long as long as you do it right. You can't get caught up in trying to get a big free agent in a small market. You gotta draft well. You gotta, typically draft your number one guy and either your number two or your number three guy, and then you gotta trade typically for other pieces. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what Golden State did with their first championship. Like the core, starters were all drafted, but most of the bench players, the role players, were trades. Phoenix Suns were in the finals this year, and they drafted their first and third best player, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. They traded for Chris Paul. Milwaukee, I don't know. They didn't really. I don't think they drafted Middleton, but I think they might have traded for him on draft night. I have to check that out. But they drafted Giannis. Um, Middleton was drafted by the Pistons. He might have been traded on draft night. I have to check. They traded for Drew Holiday. Like, you got to draft your number one guy typically. You know what I'm saying? You got to draft your number one guy and build from there. And if you're a small market, you can't get caught up in, you know, these big superstar names coming to a small market team on free agents as free agents. It doesn't happen, man. There's never been a big superstar ever to leave a team and go sign as a free agent with a small market. You know, congratulations to Milwaukee Bucks, 1-6. Giannis Finals MVP. I mean, he solidified his career. He's got 2 regular season MVPs. He's been to the All Stars ever since he started going All Star. Been All NBA ever since he started becoming All NBA. He's only 26 years old. He's did everything that you could possibly do as a professional basketball player. You know what I'm saying? He really has. And as far as him being the face of the league, I noticed people are saying that. I will say this. Giannis is the best player in the league to me. He's the most dominant and best player in the league right now. Will he be the face of the league? I don't think so. Because I still think it's hard for he speaks English, but he's got the accent. You know what I'm saying? He speaks pretty good English, but he's got an accent. I still think it's hard for international people, you know, to be the face of an American sports league. I really think that's hard. I mean, as dominant as Tim Duncan was, he was never the face, So I don't know that he'll be the face of the league. Best player, I give him that. I don't think he'll be the face of the league just yet. Would I like him to be the face of the league? Oh man, sure, certainly. He'd be a great role model for kids. A great, decent human being. Doesn't commit crimes. Got a great story. Has come from poverty. His family were refugees from Nigeria. A real family guy. Values family. Values hard work. Work. He's the epitome of hard work. Like he's a great story of, you know, It's all about hard work. Even when you get the opportunity, you still got to work hard. You still got to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they want the opportunity, but they don't want to put in that work. They don't want to work hard for it. So he's the epitome of hard work, decent human being, great father, great husband, great family person. I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, he's like the Tim Tebow of the NBA, except he actually won a championship. You know, don't forget hit that click now subscribe button. And another takeaway I get from this, the Antetokounmpo brothers, is three of them, and one plays for the Lakers and two play for the Bucks, and all three of them got their championships back to back seasons. One of the brothers got it last year, and the other brother, even though he was in COVID protocols, I mean, he's a Buck. He played with the team. Majority of the season he went proto COVID protocol. I don't know, like maybe the last series or the series before. I don't know, but he's still getting a ring. Giannis getting a ring. Giannis going to Chick-fil-A celebrating after the game. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, who don't like Chick-fil-A? Everybody loves Chick-fil-A, except my mom because she worked there. She get tired of eating the Chick-fil-A food. You know what I'm saying? But everybody loves Chick-fil-A. Kill them chicken sandwiches and waffle fries. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so shouts out to the Milwaukee Bucks, small market team, showing you how you got to do it. You got to draft your top player, and typically your second and third player is that as well. And then you got to trade. You got to use assets to trade for that third guy to get you over the hump, like they did. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks pick, they brought in Drew Holiday, PJ Tucker, and Bobby Portis in offseason. I mean, three great moves. You know, three great moves. I think the only team that made better moves than them on the offseason was Atlanta Hawks with Bogdan, Rondo, Chris Dunn, and then they brought in Lou Williams as well, and Danilo Gallinari. So yeah, man, like it's a good day for the NBA. Small market team won and show you how small market teams are supposed to win. My Charlotte Hornets need to take note of that. The Portland Trailblazers need to take note of that because CJ McCollum ain't your second best. He could be your third best, but you still got to go out and get your second best if you're keeping CJ McCollum. So yeah, man. What more can I say, man? Milwaukee, first championship, 15 years, 8 years before I was born. I mean, it's crazy, and small market teams just need to follow this motto. They need to draft right. They need to hit on all their draft picks, and they need to trade for guys that are gonna get them over the hump. That second or third guy that's gonna get them over the hump. You know. Yeah. So let me get into some NFL. Not much to really talk about. I just want to go over this Aaron Rodgers thing. It looks like Aaron Rodgers will be coming back to Green Bay this season, at least. Just because of the simple fact, there's a little story came out the other day where he's getting house cleaning done for like what the rich people do when they're out for 5 months and they have pay people to come and clean the house because it's probably dusty as hell. And he renewed his Green Bay membership for his golf club, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to be staying there for at least another year, which is got to be good for Green Bay fans. But I still say Green Bay's overplayed their hand. They need to trade Jordan Love away today. I mean, literally trade him away today just to correct the mistake. You overplayed your hand. You draft Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers put up a 13-3 season back to back. It's like, what was you thinking? Y'all was overplaying your hand tremendously. If y'all lose Aaron Rodgers, it's your fault. But see, Green Bay is not a typical. They're not a typical team though either. They're not under regular ownership. They don't have like one main owner or two or three main owners. They got like I guess they're ran by a board of trustees or they're ran by a board or something. But that team is totally different than every other team in the NFL as far as ownership and general manager and president and all that down up. You know, but it looks like Aaron Rodgers coming back, Green Bay. Also, Deshaun Watson looks like teams still want him. And what I'll say about Tim Tebow take, of course, Deshaun Watson's going to get a second, third chance. You know, whether he did it or not, of course he's going to get a second or third chance. Which I think he did some of these. All of them? No. Maybe a couple? Yeah. All of them? No. You know, and this ain't gonna be no Bill Cosby thing where he's gonna, you know, plead guilty to anything apparently. And to be honest with you, he might not have did none of them. He might not have did none of them because I mean the timing of this is really really suspect to me. You know, right when he wants to get out of Houston, you know, all this comes out. The timing is very very suspect and coincidental to me. You know, it's kind of conspiracy theory 101 of the timing of this. You know what I'm saying? Of all these women coming out exactly right after he trying to force his way out of Houston. And of course, there's going to be teams that still want him because if Denver can't get Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson would be a good pickup as well. You know, but yeah, there ain't much to take away, man. Bucks 1-6 showed you the small market teams can can win it all. Not to mention, Phoenix is a small market team, even though they're a big city. There's no big free agents going to Phoenix. They got Charles Barkley on a trade, so and it was probably like a sign and trade or something. So no big free agents are signing with Phoenix. And it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Small market teams do not get big superstar free agents, nor do they typically get all-star free agents. Charlotte's biggest free agent signing ever was Gordon Hayward, and before that, it was Al Jefferson. And I don't even know if he was an all-star in the West at all. He was a 2010 guy, but I don't know if he was an all-star in the West. I really don't know about that. I could be wrong, but I don't think he was. You know. So yeah, man. Congrats. Congrats to the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo sealed his deal. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He's punched his ticket as a champion. Yeah. Punched his ticket as a champion. Punched his ticket to Hall of Fame. Punched his ticket as one of the most dominating and great players of this game. Without a jump shot, do I add. And the last few championships have been won by teams that aren't necessarily 3-point shooting teams. They beat you up inside. Raptors beat you up inside. Lakers beat you up inside. Bucks beat you up inside. Not saying they can't shoot three, but they're not the best 3-point shooting teams. Period. And they're not like Golden State with it or Houston was with it. Just that's all they did was just shoot threes. Don't forget, hit that click now, subscribe button. Want to thank you for tuning in. Triple P, Paul Pickett Podcast. Bucks and NBA Finals. Let's give it up for them. They're the champs. Also, Aaron Rodgers possibly coming back to Green Bay. And Deshaun Watson still got takers out there. And now that we're getting into politics and music as well, we're just going to be mixing up the topics. I might do sports, music, and politics all at once. One day it might be just music, or might just be politics or just sports. Being that I'm going to do 3 different things, I could go anywhere with it. I could do a triple threat, all 3, music, sports, and politics at once, or just single them out. It really depends on what the topics are for that day, what kind of stuff I got to talk about. Once again, this is the Paul Pickett Podcast, hosted by Paul Pickett. That is me, yours truly. Don't forget the audio version goes to Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, TuneIn, Slacker, iHeartRadio. You can Google Paul Pickett Podcast. And the video also goes to YouTube, my Instagram TV, and my Facebook fan pages.